on the computer together, and I made him stop watch Dexter this year so we could watch them together. He was watching it with his wife, and I said, "No, that's it. You got to stop." So, but we kind of hang out in the plane, and Henrik's a guy that gets ready. Is very precise about his preparation. So when we get on the road, he usually does his own thing. But we try to work together as much as we can.
And you've been in this league a good while now. I remember being up in Buffalo doing a story with you up there. When you remember your first game in the league. Your first game wasn't your first game against the Penguins with Mario Lemieux playing and everything.
Mario was there, Jagger was there,
18, right?
Francis, Stevens, whoever, Nedved. I was 18, it was the day after Christmas, and I just got cut from the World Juniors as an 18-year-old, so I came home just to get a phone call from the Sabres saying you're going to meet us in Pittsburgh. I didn't really know I was playing until warm-up.
You had the injuries there, right?
Yeah, Hasek was hurt, Treflov was hurt, and Rob Stauber was their number 3 guy in Rochester, so I ended up coming up, playing 4 goals in the first period. I found the bench really quick after that, but I played the next night against Ottawa, played in the old Forum in Montreal, which was a great experience as a Quebec kid. Just a lot of good memories there.
We've been talking so much about rules today, and we talked just a minute ago about the spinorama and the shootout. I want to get your take on these topics that are being discussed in Toronto: goalie interference, and maybe some rules in the shootout, that spinorama and in particular.
Well, the spinorama was kind of funny because if you know the guy is doing it, if you've been studying the tape, you might as well just lay down on the goal line. You can't really get it up, but at the same time, it's kind of a skills competition. You try to do something funny. If it works, it works. But I've never seen it in a game. I've seen it plenty of other times in practice. The guys that are good at it usually have 1 or 2 moves that they can go with and score. The goalie interference, I'm kind of in between because I don't like being bumped in my crease, but I don't mind the little interference sometimes and the push and shoving. It's part of the game, and I remember watching the Quebec Nordiques in the early 80s and mid 80s, and there was a lot of that. But it's got to be, you got to be cautious. You can't run the goalies over. Obviously, you can't crush them in the net or in the crease. And the refs have done a good job at identifying when it's a goaltender interference and when it's somebody being pushed in the net. But it's so fast in there that you have to be, have special talent to be able to tell what's happening in the crease at that time.
Marty, what about the New York Rangers? All the Ranger fans out there would kill me if I didn't, bring it up. Rangers, you guys have maybe turned a little bit of a corner, have a couple wins in a row now, playing a little bit better. What about this team? Conference finals last year. I mean, where are you going this year?
Well, obviously we want to go the whole way. I mean, that's been our motto. That's what we worked on for the last probably 4 or 5 years with the Rangers. It's been building with guys like Callahan and Girardi and those guys coming up in the system. But I think that with this shortened season, like we said, there's not a lot of practice time, so everything's got to happen so much faster. And our team is based on system and not based on playing all together, 5 guys in 3 zones. And so it took a little time to get going, but when we got our speed and when we got the game the way we've been playing the last couple, it's really good to see. And everybody on the bench is so excited about watching a guy like Nash really dipsy-doodling all the way around. And he's brought a lot of energy to our team, and it's been great.
Marty, I'm always curious about this with goalies. How much studying do you do of players' tendencies, especially for the shootout? How much homework do you like to do?
I don't do a whole lot. Obviously, I watch a lot of hockey, so somehow you pick up on tendencies just by watching. If there's a game on TV or I watch the highlights on the computer and all of that. But most of the things that we do on video is about us, about the goaltending. And we watched our last game, the situational play, your positioning, what a team might do sometimes on the power play. If you play a team that likes to go east-west and a lot of cross-ice passes, we'll key in on that a little bit. But I don't do a lot of scouting on other teams just because I don't want to have a pre-assumed conception of what a guy might do, and then he does something completely different, and you look so foolish because you dive left and he goes right, and that's what happens generally.
You still taping up those ankles? I remember you that. So you got
I tried to bring in new skates this year, and I actually practiced for 3 straight days with a new pair of skates, but I went back to the old wood, so I still tape them and
tape
still
company
get them
loves you.
Our trainers don't love me that much, but that's all right. You know, it's just
you got to be comfortable.
You got to be comfortable, and the equipment. I got old pants, old skates. That's all. The rest of the stuff kind of changes pretty rapidly, but we stick with what works.
How did you become a goalie? Was it the gear? That's what everybody seems to say.
It was the gear. When I grew up in the early '80s, there was a lot of goalies that started wearing the blue pads, the white pads, as opposed to the old brown. The masks were painted with logos and a little bit of personality. So I wanted to play goal, and then I had my younger brother Matthew also played, but I used to tell him, big defenseman, I used to tell him, shoot on me. You know, I'd be in the basement and I'd say, hey, little brother, you shoot on me, and that's kind of like how it started. It wasn't the other way around. I think the Esposito brothers was more the other way around. The older guy says the younger guy, get in net and shoot on you. So. But I think that's what got me started in playing goal. That was something that attracted me to the position.
Even though you're a Nordiques guy, was Patrick White one of the guys that you watched, or were you always against Patrick?
I was so against Patrick. Even though he was from Quebec City, he was the enemy in Montreal. And I remember growing up watching Daniel Bouchard. Then it was Mario Gosselin, and so forth and so on. So. I mean, I was at the draft in '93 when they picked Jocelyn Thibault there, and the place was going crazy. So obviously, I did not like Patrick so much, but I got to work with Francois Allaire, now Benny Allaire, which I kind of have studied the style a little bit, but he was the arch enemy, that's for sure.
Marty, it's great to see you. You got to stop by more often.
I'm just around a few blocks down the road, so I'll stop anytime. You know, but special day. I'm going out to dinner with my brother-in-law, so I figured I'd stop and see you guys on the way.
Hey, thanks a lot, buddy.
Great to see you. Thanks so much. Marty Biron of the New York Rangers, and I know you're looking forward to the big game tonight. Every hockey fan seems to be excited about the Chicago Blackhawks and the Anaheim Ducks, and we'll continue with our coverage here on the special